Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. So I acknowledge that I am a minute and a half late this morning. I'm sorry. Um, all I can tell you is I did something to I did something to my butt yesterday. I got me some pain in my rear. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes you just kind of turn the wrong way. I mean, I run and play tennis like a mad woman every day. I don't hurt myself. And I don't know what I did, but I just kind of turned the wrong way at home and suddenly, bam, hard to bend over, hard to walk, hard to move. So you can't see it, but I have a heating pad on my lower back this morning. That's what took me so long finding it because, you have one, but if you don't keep it in the same place all the time, you can't find it when you really need it. But it's on there now. I don't want to move. I'll move the computer before I'll move the chair because it's in just the right place right now. It feels so good. My coffee feels good. Just being warm feels good today. Surprisingly chilly outside for the desert. But I'm looking out my window and I see pink and yellow flowers and green grass, and I see some succulents because we're in the desert. So we have lots of succulents. Isn't succulent a wonderful word? I mean, I love words. So what is today? She said. Well, first, it's a review of yesterday because yesterday was so delightful. First of all, we got to go to the movies yesterday. I don't know about you, but I've been to the movies in, I don't know, a year and a half, something like that. So, because there was a movie I really, really wanted to see that just came out with Billy Crystal. I forgot the name of it is now. I'm Here, maybe something like that. I don't know. Whatever it is, the new movie with Billy Crystal. Ugh, I'm so glad I went to see it. It was fantastic. Oops, heating had pads getting really hot. Let's see, what do I do? I guess I stop it. On, off. Okay, I'm going with it's paused, so let's see if it cools off. Anyway, I really like Billy Crystal, and the woman who I I'm sorry, I'm ashamed that I don't remember her name either, but she reminded me of Queen Latifah, kind of that attitude. Yeah, she was just awesome. She was so perfect in the part. And it was just a poignant, funny, sad. That's Billy Crystal. Very reminiscent of one of my favorite all-time Billy Crystal movies, Memories of Me, which was like that. Funny and sad and funny and sad. Yeah, that's him. And then we went to the polo grounds. Thank you so much, because we have polo grounds here in the desert at Coachella. We went to the polo grounds and had dinner, and then there was entertainment. There was music after dinner, sitting outside. It was a little windy. It was delightful, but it was a little windy. Played a little pool, played a little billiards while we were there. Just an all around special, wonderful weekend kind of day, because our weekend starts on Friday. And today we have company coming. My niece is going to go see her grandma. She's going to go see Grandma Fritzy, and I'll go with her. The two of us will go. I think that'll make it a little easier on both of them. But in the meantime, she's also coming with her husband and my great niece, Ella, who is just, she's 6. What can I say? 6-year-olds, they're awesome. Love 6-year-olds. So my Ella Schmella will be here, and it's just going to be a wonderful day. I know it is. And yesterday was a wonderful day. And my coffee's wonderful. My puppy's wonderful. My Indie's wonderful. It's all good. You know what I mean? I can't even see who's here this morning. I think we must have had a long time in the waiting room today. Yeah. Wow. Morning, my darling. Okay, once again, you're not telling me you're here. I love when you all tell me you're here. You don't have to talk, you don't have to say anything. You just have to just give me a hi and it'll tell me you're here. And or just, send an emoji or something. And I promise I won't say your name if you don't want me to say your name. I promise. So, what is today? Today's nothing like, that I got really excited. It's National Slider Day. I do love my sliders. I think maybe might have sliders, barbecue sliders for lunch. I mean, they're just like burgers, right? Except they're little minis. That's really fun. Hot dogs and hamburgers on the barbecue today. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, just an old-fashioned barbecue. It's Police Officers Memorial Day. It's Armed Forces Day. It's Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Just saying. Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. I mean, come on. Whether you like the soft, mushy kind or the hard, crispy kind, chocolate chip cookies are just good, right? I mean, even bad chocolate chip cookies are good. Good morning, Stephen. Thank you for being here. Chocolate chip cookie day. Make sure you get some chocolate chip cookies. They're easy to bake. And if you're too lazy to bake them, you can already make, buy them already made and just chop them up and stick them in the oven. And you got great chocolate chip cookies. Uh-oh. Indy says, cookies or ice cream? Oh, do I have to make a choice? Can we have both? Could we have chocolate chip cookie ice cream? Ice cream sandwiches made with chocolate chip cookies? Come on, get creative here, my darling. You know he makes me the most delicious ice cream, right? He's like the most amazing ice cream maker. Yeah. Cookies or ice cream? I choose yes. Oh, and buns. Oh. Um I choose cookies and ice cream if I have to make a choice, but he was going to make homemade buns to go with the hamburgers and hot dogs. Oh, I don't know. Can't you do everything? You're my Superman. He is my Superman. He is. Seriously. He is. He knows everything and he can do everything. And I truly believe that too. Yeah. We'll have to find it out later. Okay, but you all need to know this because this is like an anniversary we must celebrate. In 1940, I was not born yet. Close, but I wasn't born yet. In 1940, nylon stockings, they used to be silk stockings. Nylon stockings went on sale for the first time to the general public in American stores, and they sold out literally in just a couple of days. Yeah. Ladies really like the idea of nylon stockings. Did you see that? You can't see the post, can you? He said, yes to all. Oh, I told you it was going to be a wonderful day. It's already begun. Nylon stockings. So what can I tell you about nylon stockings? I've worn silk stockings with garters before because, they were still kind of around when I was younger. I know guys think those garters are sexy, but they are such a pain to wear, I think. Oh, actually, stockings are a pain to wear. But then they came out with pantyhose. And that was like, hello, why didn't someone think of this before? Pantyhose were like, who was the football player, baseball player who did the pantyhose commercial? It was hilarious. Come on, somebody remember for me. Too much info? No, it's not. I haven't even begun, Stephen. You don't even know what too much info is. Anyway, I can remember when pantyhose came out thinking, oh, so comfortable, so wonderful, so delightful. And then finally they made them. Joe Namath, yes. I don't know what I would do without you here, Stephen. You have to just commit to being here every day. Between you and Indy, I don't even have to look anything up anymore. You guys have it all. Thank you. Thank you, Indy. Thank you, Stephen. You're both amazing. So yeah, pantyhose. I don't know if I told you this before, but I'm only 4'10". That's not very big. But then they came out with small pantyhose, and they were hilarious because when you would take them out of the package, I'm not joking, they would be like this big. And you'd think, is this a joke? Is this a joke? But then they would stretch out and they would fit. Yeah. And I loved them. And you could get them in different colors so they could match your clothes. Well, they didn't have a lot of colors, but they had like red, white, black. I think you could, I mean, eventually I'm sure they came out with all different colors. But the coolest part was you could get tan. Yeah. So it would look like your legs were tan when really it was just the nylon stockings, the pantyhose that were tan. You weren't tan, but you looked tan. So that was like the plus. And then I'm turning this back on. It's not hot enough. And then one day, that is not your toy, Bailey. Bailey is trying to eat my toy, not his toy. That is not your toy. Do not go for that. I'll have to beat you like usual. He's, that thing that I made for my neck. Okay, let me see if I can go get it. I can't go get it. It's too hard. If Bailey eats it, I lose because I'm not getting up. Anyway, pantyhose. One day my daughter, who was, I think, in college maybe at the time, came in and I was getting ready. And we were going someplace very fancy and she didn't have any nylons on. And I said, you forgot your nylons. She said, no, I didn't forget them. Nobody wears nylons anymore. I said, I'm sorry. It looks terrible. You don't look like a lady. Go back and put your nylons on. And she looked at me and she said, I'm not putting on nylons. Why would anyone wear them? They're very uncomfortable and I don't need them and neither do you and you shouldn't wear them. We had this big argument about nylons. So the next time when she wasn't around, I tried going without nylons. It was a little weird, but it was so freedomful, whatever you want to call it. It was great. I loved it. And now I just, nylons, what are you kidding? I don't think there are any in my drawer. I don't think I own any nylons. But nobody wears them, not even Joe Namath. None of us wear them anymore. So congratulations that in 1940 they were, first came out on the market, but we're done with them. Oh, this was cool. In 1536, Anne Boleyn and her brother George, who was Sir George something or other, they were both beheaded because they were accused of adultery and incest. Now, why, she says, does that matter? Well, because I started thinking, Game of Thrones, hello? Game of Thrones seemed so bizarre, but I have a feeling it wasn't so bizarre. I have a feeling a lot of the things that happened in Game of Thrones actually came from ancient history. Just saying. Now I feel like I got to do two things. Indy and I keep talking about binge watching Game of Thrones, which I really want to do because I loved it. Even the awful parts, it was like fun to go, no, like really. I mean, yeah, and get attached to a character and then they're gone after an episode, right? But I want to find out what came from Game of Thrones that was actually based on real history, because I think there's a whole lot more to it than we realize. Yeah. 1905. Las Vegas, woo, was founded in Nevada in 1905. It's been around for quite a while. I mean, it started being the playground of the desert. There was nothing there. I can remember in 59 or 60, my family drove cross country and we stopped in Vegas. There wasn't a whole lot there. I mean, we were shocked and amazed at what was there because it was the middle of the desert. Now you just now it's just like, there's no like dividing line between Las Vegas and the rest of the world. It just kind of melds in now and there's this big place. But I can remember even going through the 60s and the early 70s, when we would drive from LA to Las Vegas, we would be driving and then we'd get to the state line, and it would be like pitch black, middle of the desert, and we'd drive for about another half hour or 40 minutes, and we'd see this glow off in the distance, and then you'd come over this rise, and it was like, whew, all of a sudden you were like lights, camera, action. I mean, you were in this amazing, like, how did they do this? We're in the middle of nothing kind of place. Not to say it's any less amazing. And of course, we called it Sin City. We didn't call it Las Vegas. We called it Sin City. But it was, even for kids, it was fun because almost immediately, I wish I knew the dates. I don't, but they built Circus Circus. And every kid wanted to go to Circus Circus. You know, your parents could gamble, drink, party, do what they wanted. And you could go off and do what you wanted. And then later, kids had, you know, like, they actually like created things at the different hotels to keep the kids busy, and parents could, you know, like go do their thing. Anyway, Sin City's been around for a long time. Yeah. In 1912, Ty Cobb, baseball player. I guess I'm big on baseball because I share a lot of baseball facts with you. He got suspended. Yeah, because there was somebody heckling him in the stands, and he left the field and went to attack the fan. And they got him before he did any harm, but they kicked him out of the game. I mean, I can kind of understand that. People do heckle pretty seriously at sporting events. I didn't know that they could actually even hear us, but apparently Ty Cobb could hear, and he did not like it. Okay, but wait. This is my big one for today. This is it. You've been waiting. Now you're going to get it. In 1940, same year that nylon stockings went on sale, right? In 1940, Richard and Maurice McDonald, got that? Richard and Maurice McDonald opened the first McDonald's in San Bernardino, California. This now explains to me why I used to say, no, the first McDonald's was in Des Plaines, Illinois, not too far from where we lived, because that's where we went. Nope. First one was in San Bernardino, California. I kind of want to go visit the original one. Wouldn't that be kind of fun? But it also wasn't Ray Kroc. It was the McDonald brothers. Richard and Maurice, otherwise known as Dick and Mac, they came up with this thing called the Speedy system. If you go back in time, you'll remember that the McDonald's character, I think his head was a hamburger that said 15 cents on it or something. He was Speedy. And they're the ones who came up with this way of, like, you know, almost like, well, the fast food concept, speedy service. So what happened was they opened it up to franchises. Their whole thing was to do a turnkey operation, right? The first person to buy a franchise from them was Ray Kroc. Yeah. And he opened the first McDonald's in California. I mean in Illinois. And it was the one that was in Des Plaines. He had this dream that he was going to own 1,000 of them. And I got to get the year right. Wait a minute. I wrote it down. I know I did. By the way, before he bought it in 1940, in 1948, maybe. Anyway, in 1939, Ray Kroc sold multi-mixer machines. This is probably where we got our McDonald's milkshakes, which are so good. And he was a musician, and he sold paper cups before he bought the franchise, okay? So he visited them. He bought the first franchise. And in 1971, not until 1971, he acquired all the rights to McDonald's. Are you ready for what he paid for it? $2.7 million. He bought all the rights to all McDonald's. Yeah, for $2.7 million, which he probably could earn in 24 minutes today. Yeah. His dream was to have 1,000 McDonald's, right? Today, I don't know how many there are, but whenever I got whatever these numbers, whatever year they came from, sometime in the 20 teens, there were over 36,000 McDonald's in 100 different nations. In fact, in 2016, they opened a McDonald's in Kazakhstan. Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. It's not a fast food joint. It's a gold mine. It used to be that mothers used to want their girls to grow up and marry lawyers or doctors, or not anymore. No, you hit the jackpot when you marry somebody who owns a McDonald's franchise, right? Okay, that was so anti-feminist. I apologize. Girls can go out and earn and buy a McDonald's franchise too. And men would be lucky to marry us if we had one. I just don't have one. That's all. Yeah. But I know how to make hamburgers. And today is National Sliders Day. Don't you think that's appropriate? They don't do sliders at McDonald's. You can open the first slider stand. Yeah, and you heard it right here. That's true. All right, word art for today. Word art for today is I almost always know what the right thing is to do or say is. Problem is, I don't always say or do it. So I'm working on that one. Yeah, that's right. So go out there today and do the right thing. Do the right thing, because in your heart, you know exactly what the right thing is. And did you ever notice that when we go for advice, we generally tend to go to someone who we know is going to say what we want to hear? So when we really want the good advice, we go to someone who we know has a heart like ours. And when we really want to get in trouble, we ask someone who's going to agree with the other side of us. Yeah, I know you do. Hey, it's Saturday. We're going to see Fritzy, so there'll be a good Fritzy report tomorrow. And until then, stay warm, safe, and happy. Take a sip. Give a smile. And I'll see you on Sunday. Have a great Saturday. Mwah! Bye-bye.